Alright folks, we open on this dude introducing himself as Mulmont Carl, a mercenary. He's asking if anyone knows where they are. Spoiler alert, nobody does. Next up is an older gentleman named Lyle, a carpenter who is, you guessed it, completely and utterly confused. Then we have Gritty, a portly stall owner who is sweating so much he could probably fill a swimming pool. He also has no clue what is happening. Even this red-haired woman, Jenna, who lived out in the woods, is just as lost as everyone else. The confusion is universal, my friends. Finally, a quiet, dark-haired young man says he was just a farmer named Ilahan. He's our future protagonist, but for now, he's just another clueless guy in the crowd. The whole gang is gathered inside this massive crumbling stone fortress, looking like they've stumbled into the wrong video game. Are they dreaming? Kidnapped? Nobody knows. Turns out they're all from Tonia. One dude thinks they might have been kidnapped by mages to be used as lab rats. Lyle wonders if a group therapy session might help things. Shut up. Mulman just screams. Suddenly, bam, a tiny fairy-like girl with red eyes and a super creepy grin appears in a flash of pink light. She announces her masters has opened a time-space crack and that it's time to fight. The sudden appearance of this sparkling gothic Lolita fairy leaves everyone completely stunned. I mean, what do you even say to that? One of the men stammers, asking who she is. She introduces herself as Acel, the fairy who manages this place, and warns them to behave if they value their lives. Mulman steps forward, demanding to know if she's the kidnapper. She just brushes him off, saying it is none of his business. The nerve on this fairy. Mulman is not having it. He calls her shameless and rests his hand on his sword, promising to make her talk. Big mistake, my friend. A very big mistake. Isel glances back with an expression of pure boredom, telling him to stop being stupid unless he has a death wish. This is what we call foreshadowing, folks. Ignoring her warning, Mom powers up, his eyes glowing as he draws his blade. Acel just grins wickedly, sighing at his absolute foolishness. He lunges forward, declaring he'll teach her a lesson in manners. Famous last words. But before he can even make a move, his face contorts in pure, unadulterated horror. Oh, this is not going to end well for him. A system message appears. Mulman has returned to the goddess embrace. Well, that was fast. His fighting spirit will be remembered for all of eternity, or at least for the next 5 minutes. His body goes limp, blood erupting from his neck as he collapses to the ground. Yikes, that is a lot of blood. Then another message flashes revealing the cause of death. Get this. Suicide due to stress. He literally stressed himself to death trying to attack her. I cannot make this up. Isel looks at the terrified crowd and scoffs. Didn't I tell you not to act stupid unless you wanted to die? This wouldn't have happened if you had listened. With a completely deranged grin, she warns them that they'll die instantly if they even dare to touch her. It's just self-defense, she says. Sure it is. The crowd erupts in panic, but Acel cuts them off. Her demands are simple. Be obedient, fight well, and win well. That is all. Easy, right? A system message pops up. A party has been formed. Drag and drop the heroes. Another window lists the members of Party 1. Lyle, Ranto, Marlin, Kelkard, and Jackson. Acel looks up and says, the master has finally started. She turns to the crowd with a grin, shouting, everyone get ready. With a dramatic cry, she commands a crack in space and time to open up. She's really enjoying this, isn't she? A glowing, ethereal gate materializes in the air, humming with power. It looks like a one-way ticket to a very bad time. The 5 chosen members of the first party look on in absolute terror. I do not blame them one bit. The cell smirks, pointing to the shimmering portal. You see this gate? Don't you go into it if you don't want to die like that last guy. But just as she is about to send them off, our dark-haired farmer speaks up, telling her to wait. He argues that as 1-star heroes, they do not even have basic weapons. He asks if she is really just sending them out as a suicide squad. My man is using his brain. Jenna looks on wondering what he is up to. Han points out that a precious 2-star hero just died, so letting them have weapons is the least they can do. A very logical argument. Acel glances at Mulmont's body and his stats. Realizing he was a 2-star novice, she cons that's true. She relays the information to her unseen master. Master, the heroes don't have equipment. She's like a customer service rep for a death game. She then suggests, how about summoning equipment for a smooth battle ahead? She's even upselling now. Isel gets to work, typing furiously on a holographic keyboard that appears before her, like she's ordering from some interdimensional Amazon for weapons. A tip appears for the master, explaining that heroes get a basic old iron swords, but placed weapons will be equipped automatically. It is literally a tutorial for the player. The system begins at 10 times consecutive equipment summon, costing 50,000 gold. The results pop up. Master Anything has obtained an iron sword, a low-grade bow, and a morning star. Wow, what amazing loot. Truly game-changing. Lyle approaches Han asking if he knows something about this place. Han admits he has not been here long either, which isn't very reassuring. Jenna watches him, intrigued. Han continues, "What I do know is you'll die if you don't do this properly." Straight to the point. I like it. Hen gestures to a pile of newly appeared weapons. It'd be best for everyone to take weapons from over there. It'll start soon. A man nervously asks what is starting. Han looks back and says one word. The battle. Wait, that's two. The people rush to the weapons pile, scrambling to arm themselves. The first party, now armed with swords, spears, and maces, stands ready. Their faces are a mixture of grim determination and abject terror. Lyle notices that Mulman's corpse has vanished, but his cell does not give him time to think, screaming, "Shut up. All 5 of you are to head into the gate now." Lyle tentatively reaches out and touches the swirling blue energy of the gate. What could possibly go wrong? Zap! The gate shocks them with electricity. Isol, losing her patience, yells at them to stop doling and go in immediately. She is having a full-on tantrum. As the party is forced into the portal, Han picks up a low-grade wooden shield for himself. Meanwhile, Jenna wisely picks up a bow and arrow. Jenna asks him what is happening. Han bluntly explains they just have to go into the arena and kill all the enemies. Solid advice. Very helpful. A moment later, a system message appears. Marlin has returned to the goddess embrace, and there is our first casualty from Party 1. Han curses under his breath as Jenna looks at him confused and alarmed. "Welcome to the show, kid." Then in rapid succession, death notifications appear for Kelkard, Ranto, and Jackson. Pop, pop, pop. They're dropping like flies. Hen grimly remarks, "I guess that's why they're 1 star. Jenna, still confused, asks what happened, but he just tells her to be quiet. He's so cold about it. The final message confirms the total party wipe. Lyle has returned to the goddess embrace. Well, that was a complete and utter failure. Han calmly notes they were annihilated already. Isol, however, is absolutely livid, screaming, "Useless bastards." They were annihilated on the first floor. The system immediately begins forming a new party. And look who is on the list. Han, Jenna, Dejil, Grit, and Kale. It is our turn, folks. Isol calls for the next group. Han tells Jenna it is their turn as she wonders why the first group is not coming back. "Oh, you sweet summer child." An old man, Dejil, tries to get out of it, claiming his arthritis is acting up. The cell calls his bluff, pointing out he was walking just fine a minute ago. Hen just watches silently as Jenna looks on with concern. Our protagonist is a professional observer at this point. The new party is a complete mess of panic and excuses. Isol finally snaps, screaming at them to shut up and get ready. As they are pushed towards a portal, Gritty clutches his stomach, claiming it suddenly hurts. "Sorry, buddy. There are no sick days in this death game." The party steps through the gate one by one. There's no turning back now. Jenna and the others look around in awe and fear as they emerge on the other side. This place is definitely not Taya. They have arrived in a massive dark chamber that looks like a temple with a giant glowing doorway at the far end. Very grand, very ominous. Someone asks what the writing on the giant archway says. There's always that one person who cannot read the room, or in this case, the giant glowing text. The glowing words are part of challenge. This is getting very epic very quickly. A system message clarifies they are in the main dungeon on the first floor. The goal is to climb the tower and save the world. No pressure or anything. Another message flashes. The gate is opening. Get ready. Here we go again. Han takes the lead. Shield and sword ready. He yells, "Don't freeze up. Here we go." A true leader in the making, maybe. The party charges into the blinding white light of the now open gate. Let us hope this goes better than the last time. They emerge from the light into a new environment. This time, it is a dry, grassy field under a hazy sky. The group finds themselves standing in a desolate sunshed wasteland, looking completely bewildered. Talk about a change of scenery. One of them asks where they are. Han, holding his sword, replies grimly, "Where else?" A system message declares the mission for Floor 1. A subjugation quest with the objective to annihilate their enemies. Simple and to the point. It's the battlefield. Amphinesis Grimli. And right on cue, a horde of snarling reedied level 3 goblins charges toward them. Hen grits his teeth, trying to rally his terrified teammates. "I just told you, didn't I? You'll die if you don't fight, so pull yourselves together." But his words are useless. His party members drop their weapons and flee in terror. Of course they do. "Useless," he mutters. Jenna screams that the old man was faking his arthritis, but he just yells back that it got better. A system message confirms they are both in a state of fear, reducing their stats by 30%. The same debuff hits the other 2 cowards, Gritty and Kale. Their stats are also nerfed by 30%. As Han's useless party members try to bolt, They slam face first into an invisible barrier. Classic video game logic. You cannot escape the battle arena. Jenna, bringing up the rear, realizes their escape is cut off. A wall. She shouts in disbelief. Yes, Jenna, a wall. The others panic. One complains about his back, while another has a more urgent problem. Let me out. I need to poop. Seriously, dude. The man Dajiel starts hammering on the invisible wall, desperate to get out. This is not a good look, my friend. Han glances back at the pathetic display, a bead of sweat rolling down his face. How pathetic, he mutters. You said it, buddy. Just then, Jenna calls out his name. She seems to have pulled herself together. Finally, someone with a spine. She asks him a crucial question. If we kill those goblins, can we get out? Yes, that is the right question to ask. Han immediately formulates a plan. He confirms she can use the bow, then says, I'll fight them head on. You shoot from behind. Can you do it? She firmly agrees. We have a team. Jenna glances back at their useless teammates, but Han is stone cold. Ignore them, he says. They won't be of any help. Ruthless. I love it. With a horrifying screech, the goblin horde charges. Here they come, Jenna yells. It is go time, people. As they brace for impact, Han has a startling internal thought. He has never actually wielded a sword or a shield before. He was faking it this whole time. The absolute madman. But there is no time for second thoughts as the first goblin leaps. Its blade swinging down. In this split second, he reveals his real name is Han Seojin. He has been thrown into a twisted game ruled entirely by luck. Well, good luck, Seojin. The goblin's weapon comes crashing down, and Han raises his shield just in time, bracing for the bone-shattering impact. From the backline, Jenna watches with wide, determined eyes. She is ready to provide that sweet, sweet DPS. Meanwhile, the other three are still cowering uselessly by the invisible wall. I'm sure they are providing excellent moral support. The scene cuts away to a dark, mysterious chamber where a massive, ornately carved stone gate stands sealed. Ooh, foreshadowing. What could be behind door number 1? Okay, let's back up a bit. There's this insanely popular gacha game called Pick Me Up. Sounds friendly, right? Don't be fooled. It's a mobile game by Mobius, and right now it's doing the one thing it's good at, making you wait. The goal is simple, my friends. Climb a 100-floor tower by collecting heroes and pretending you have a strategy. And this is our guy, Han Seojin. Yesterday, he was just another poor soul logging in to get his daily dose of disappointment. He scoffs. A transcendental advent. About time this garbage game got a real event. You could just feel the love, can't you? See, Shaijin's got the worst luck imaginable. He's a whale who's never pulled a hero over 5 stars. We've all been there. But this new event might drop a book of reserval, guaranteeing a 7-star hero. The bait has been set and he is hooked. But here's the thing about Pick Me Up. This game plays for keeps. It's got some seriously hardcore rules. Rule number 1, and it's a big one. Parade death. Your 5-star hero dies. Poof. Gone forever. No takebaks. So, like any smart player, he decides to send in a team of disposable low-level heroes to scout things out first. Finally, the Advent dungeon opens. Let the suffering begin. Immediately, red warning signs flash everywhere. This is what we gamers call a bad sign. His entire party gets hit with a fear debuff. Their stats are nerfed by 30%, and one of them is already trying to run away. Useless. Seojin doesn't care. He's thinking, whatever, they're just cannon fodder. I just need to see the boss's attack patterns, but his heroes are already having a complete meltdown. They're in a full-blown panic before the fight even starts. And then he sees it. Wait a second. Level 999? The boss's name is just a mess of corrupted symbols. Han just thinks it's a bug. Oh, you sweet summer child. An instant later, it's all over. The screen just says, you lose. Well, that was fast. He's convinced it's a system error. His entire recon team got wiped out in a single hit. So much for scouting. Now he's mad. They died so fast he didn't even get to see a single attack pattern. What a waste of perfectly good 1-star heroes. Suddenly, a terrifying grinning face with glowing red eyes flashes on his screen. Artist, you need to calm down. The words found you burn into the screen. Oh, that's not good. He's startled, wondering. Huh, a pattern? No, my friend. This is not a pattern. This is a problem. He thinks the game should be over, but something feels very, very wrong. His thought just trails off, and then darkness. He panics, shouting into the void. What? I can't see anything. A system message appears out of nowhere. Creating your account. Wait, what account? He has no idea what's going on. And frankly, neither do we. A prompt appears, telling him to choose a name between 2 and 6 characters. Standard character creation stuff. But before he can even think, a name gets typed in for him. Anything? Seriously? The system just clicks yes for him, completely ignoring his internal screaming match. He has no control. He's yelling into the void. I'm not entering it. It's moving on its own. A big welcome message flashes. Inishing, welcome to the world of Pick Me Up. This is not the welcome party he was hoping for. And of course, it asks, will you start the tutorial? And yes is automatically selected. He has no control over this. He's not a player anymore. He's a character now, with a new name, Hannah Slot. He finds himself standing in a burning town holding a sword. He stammers. What is this real? Yep, it's very real. The tutorial narration begins explaining the lore of Tonia, blah blah. Humans and other species living together. Some unknown enemy invaded, and the master has to climb the tower to save the world. No pressure or anything. And many heroes will join him on this quest. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to be part of this mess. He's finally snapped out of his daze by a sound. He whirls around. His first quest appears. Take down the goblins that invaded the town. Welcome to the grind, buddy. He looks up and sees a real live monstrous goblin. Goblins? And what is this message? It's your new to-do list, Han. He's in a full-blown panic, thinking, this is so realistic, my friend. It's about to get way too real, but there's no time to freak out. Reality hits you fast in this world. A goblin lunges at him, dagger raised, looking absolutely ferocious. This isn't a sprite on a screen anymore. His body moves on its own, instinctively, raising the sword to block. Bam! Sparks fly. His arms tremble from the impact. You can practically hear the metal straining. He is not built for this. A system message pops up explaining that combat will now proceed automatically. Tanks, hedo AI. He lets out a pained grunt as his body continues to fight. His sword flashes, parrying another blow. He screams as his body is forced to deliver a killing blow. The look on his face is pure terror. His mind just can't process the feeling of taking a life. It's one thing to tap a screen. It's another to feel it, but the game doesn't care about his feelings. Stage clear. Hen has leveled up. He just stumbles away wondering what just happened. Then his eyes widen. He looks up at the weirdly beautiful and familiar scene. What the heck? This was the lobby of Pick Me Up. The system prompts Master. Will you pull for a comrade before the next stage? Time for some gacha. It tells the Master to use the summon tap. The first pull is free, and he's got 500 gems for a high-rank summon. Let's go. He just mutters just what is happening. He is completely lost. A puppet in his own favorite game. And then a brilliant golden light erupts from a door in front of him. A female knight in golden armor emerges from the light. A 4-star hero Shay has been summoned. Not bad for a free pull. Summon. A summon. The gears in his head finally start turning. The realization hits him like a truck. He thinks, then did I get summoned like that too? Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. The knight Shay looks at him and asks, did you summon me? Who are you? She's a level 1 fresh out of the box. He stammers out his real name, Hahin Seojin. Shay just calls his name weird. First impressions are going great. Suddenly, the system tells the Master to form a party by dragging the hero into a slot, just like playing on his phone, but now it's his life. And just like that, Han, the 1-star hero, and Shay, the 4-star knight, have formed a party. And bam, it finally clicks for Han Seojin. Their master is a real-world player called Anything, and he's been sending them to dungeons. Time for round 2. Shay immediately starts roasting his terrible form. He yells back, it's my first time. While she effortlessly mows down goblins, the stat difference is just comical. Shay levels up and gets MVP while Han just sits there watching her solo the entire stage. But that's when the real problem started. You thought this was bad? Oh, just you wait. It's the final tutorial stage. The doors to Synthesis, a way to enhance heroes, have just opened. The system prompts the Master to click the Synthesis tab. Han's face fills with pure dread. He screams, I'm so screwed. Suddenly, a voice cuts through. Hey you. It's a cell. Going fast. Master awaits. She yells, shoving him forward. Han is quiet for a moment. He's processing. He looks at the fairy and says her name. Isel. She completely freaks out. How do you know my name? Where are you? He explains. I know because I was a Pick-Me-Up user. I am Ansuyin. Isel checked her little book. Totally confused. You're not Islet Han. She points at him yelling. You don't look like the picture. He just tells her to send him back while he's still being nice. She asks if he's from Earth. He snaps back. Of course I am. Should I be from Mars? The sass is strong with this one. The realization sends Eel into a full-blown panic attack. She's screaming. What the heck happened? I'm gonna go crazy. As a cell tries to force him into the portal, Han desperately argues. He screams, no, if I go in, I'll die. She insists he won't. He'll just be synthesized. But Han knows that's just a fancy word for death. With a final shove, she sends him flying. Han crashes to the floor. The knight Shay looks down at him, totally unimpressed. So loud, she mutters. Suddenly, the system announces, Master, the synthesis is starting. Here we go. A blinding blue aura erupts from his hands. Han starts in horror. He knows exactly what this is. He cries out. It started as his body glows with that terrifying energy. This is it, the moment he's been dreading. He knows this process all too well. Synthesis. It's how you enhance a hero by combining them with another. In the brutal logic of gacha games, one hero becomes a sacrifice to power up the other. It's tough but fair. And in that process, the hero used as material is completely consumed. They just disappear. The problem is simple. He's a disposable one-star hero, and she's a valuable four-star knight. The math isn't hard. He grits his teeth, accepting his fate. So this is how I die. Who in their right mind would combine a four-star into a one-star? But then the impossible happens. Synth, this is complete. Wait, what? Han's eyes snap open. He's still here. The blue energy is swirling around him, but he's alive. He's not disappearing. So this is it, Shay announces calmly. He realizes with dawning horror, it's not him who's disappearing. It's Shay. He yells out, "Why are you disappearing?" It makes no sense. She looks at him calmly as her body becomes transparent. I wasn't chosen, that's all. With a gentle smile, she offers her final words of encouragement. What a trooper. I'll leave it to you, Han. And just like that, she's gone, dissolved into a pillar of light. He's left alone, sweating, and completely bewildered. Was his master an idiot? Because that's the only reason he can think of for this to happen. All right, back to the present dungeon. The team is being slaughtered. A system message announces the death of a hero named Grid. Another one bites the dust. The battlefield is pure chaos. Goblins are swarming everyone while a woman named Jenna yells for them to fight back. But somehow through all of this, he survived. With a newfound resolve, he smashes his shield right into a goblin's face. He knows the master must have messed up. Synthesis is a drag and drop function. He either dragged and dropped the wrong hero, or he just wasn't thinking. He survived because the master is a he screams. That's why this is a junk game. He turns to Jenna, yelling that there's two more left. Jenna calls out that she got one, but there's one more. But before he can move, the last goblin lunges and sinks its teeth right into his arm. Ouch! Gritting his teeth against the pain. His thoughts become crystal clear. He knows one thing for sure. He was summoned into this world as a disposable one-star hero. He roars, "You little monster," and smashes the goblin's head into a bloody pulp. That's one way to handle it. He remembers what happened right before he was pulled here. That face-off with the level 999 bug monster. He realizes with absolute certainty, that thing dragged me here. A cold fury fills him. That thing messed with the wrong person. Unleashing all his pent-up rage, he becomes a whirlwind of absolute destruction on the battlefield. The battle ends. Han stands exhausted amidst the carnage, his weapons discarded on the bloody ground. Jenna rushes to his side, pointing to his wounded arm. "Hey, your arm." He just tells her it'll heal when they get back. He reflects on the game. There's almost no player control in combat. The heroes just fight automatically based on their AI. Yet a million people play it for one reason. You get to observe this world like a god. A massive watching eye appears in the sky. That's the player. That's the master. That used to be him. Hem looks up toward the sky, a chilling smirk spreading across his face. He asks the watcher, "Are you having fun?" He was a player too. He knows all the secrets, all the strategies, and all the hidden features. He knows how this game works. And he wasn't just any player. He was Loki, the 5th place ranker in the entire world. He glares up at the sky, a fire in his eyes. Watch me survive until the very end. A system notification pops up. Stage clear, and Jenna has leveled up. Good for her. The rewards are tallied. 2,000 gold plus some basic crafting materials. The usual loot drop, and for his incredible rage-fueled performance, Han is declared the MVP of the stage. He earned it. The results screen shows the grim reality. 9 heroes died in combat. It's a bloodbath. Only 2 cards remain for the survivors is Han and Jenna. From a full party to just 2. All right, it's the next day, and Han has finally stopped crying. No more whining, my friends. He's decided to face the music. And what a terrible tune it is. He's trapped inside a gacha game as a one-star hero. Basically, he's human garbage. In this game, heroes have exactly 2 career paths. Option 1, die a glorious death in battle. Option 2, get turned into a flavored protein powder in the synthesis chamber. And since he's a one-star nobody, he's first in line for the grinder. He's not even a side character. He's just EXP fodder. Just look at these stats. His growth potential is a joke. He's on a speed run to becoming a smoothie ingredient. But our boy isn't going down without a fight. He's got a 3-point plan. Survive, get revenge, and find the exit. And for that, he needs to get stronger. It's adapt or die. A lesson he learned the hard way back in the military. He knows it's not just about brawn. He's got to get his mind right to survive this nightmare. So, he channels his inner lone wolf, remembering how he's always had to rely on himself. Time for the training montage. He grinds like his life depends on it because, well, it does. Look at that sweat. But just as he's in the zone, a voice cuts in. It's Jenna wondering what on earth he's doing. Han, ever. The gentleman snaps back that he's training to kill monsters. Real smooth, buddy. Jenna, completely unfazed by his terrible attitude, just says she was looking for him. Turns out she had her own little mental breakdown last night and has also accepted their grim reality. She reveals she's got skills. Her dad was a hunter, so she knows her way around a bow and promises not to be deadweight. She knows crying is useless. And to prove her point, bam, bullseye. Then she hits him with the big question. You know how to survive, right? Han grills her, asking if yesterday was her first rodeo. She admits it was saying she's more of an Endersea type, and her archery skills are just so-so. Total humble brag. But Han has a little cheat code. He can see her stats, and they tell a much different story. Her base stats are kind of low, but she's got a unique skill and already scored kill. She's got potential. Plus, she's mentally tough. She's not a liability. She's an asset, a real diamond in the rough. So, he agrees to team up. All right, he says. I'll help you. She's thrilled, shaking his hand and quoting her dad about the power of friendship. How wholesome. And just like that, a system notification pops up. Goodwill increased. It's like a dating sim, but with more depth. They even get an intimacy bonuses for stat boost when they party up. See, dating sim. Han, of course, just finds the pop-ups annoying. This guy has zero romance in his soul. Now that he has a party member, it's time to interrogate the world's most annoying fairy, is Cell. She poofs in, complaining about being busy. Han points out she showed up instantly. She's not having it, telling him to just climb the tower if he wants answers. Han just ignores the tantrum and asks if he's the only player who can see the status window. Isel immediately clams up. She tries to play it cool, but her face says it all. And yep, Han can see she's level 257. Veal. And that confirms it. He's the only one that can see those messages. So, he asks a terrifying question. What happens if the Master Rage quits? Her answer, just pray he doesn't. Yikes. And thinks back to how he got here. The Master isn't just a noob. He's an idiot who wasted a 4-star hero on a 1-star. And he knows the Master can't just restart his account since the game is tied to his phone. Nota que vaxeyes. He pokes the fairy again, asking if time moves differently here. She completely loses it, screaming at him, which is all the confirmation he needs. He gives her a smug grin. Thanks for the tip. What a troll. He's just confirmed another rule. This angry little pixie can't actually hurt him. She can only harm him in self-defense or if he isn't obeying Master's rules. He resolves to learn all these rules one by one. It's his only way forward. Jenna, who's been watching this whole soap opera, finally asks what's going on. Han gives her the short version. Climb a 100-floor tower for the Master. She quickly connects the dots. That means fighting a ton of monsters. Yep, Han says that's why I'm training. She asks if it's just them against the world. Nope. The Master can and will summon more poor souls into this mess. So, even though his choices matter, at the end of the day, they're all just toys for some dude on his phone. A day of training later, Han discovers a neat little feature. Food and supplies just magically appear every day. Just imagine anything you want to have, and it magically poofs into a closet, except for guns and weapons. Those don't work. He also learned something new. Back when he was a player, he encountered heroes with the same level, but had different combat power. And now he understands. It's because they train hard. Training doesn't increase stats or levels, but it refines a hero's skill. And that's what he was doing now. An observant master will soon figure out that heroes fit into 3 boxes. The mentally tough, the skilled, and the physically strong. And Han was aiming for the 3rd. Then on day 3 of training, the master finally logged back in. It's game time, folks. And look at that. The training paid off. He unlocked 2 new skills, basic sword and shield techniques. It's a start. Han warns Jenna the boss is online and is probably about to summon 3 more heroes to fill out the party. And right on cue, 3 more 1-star heroes get yanked into the game. Welcome Aaron, Toby, and Yelsens to the nightmare. The new guys appear looking completely lost. Where am I? One of them yells, "You're in hell, buddy." Jenna tries to warn them to get ready, but they're too busy freaking out and demanding to know who she is. No time for introductions. The cell shows up, does her dramatic chant, and rips open a portal to the 1st level. It's go time. A helpful tip pops up, reminding them to equip weapons or be stuck with a starter sword. A classic RPG mistake. The newbies predictably start screaming their heads off, demanding to go home. That's not how this works, guys. One of them even tries to attack the level 257 fairy. Han, meanwhile, is just watching this disaster unfold. They switch to begging, but Han tells Jenna to just ignore them. He knows what's coming next. And yep, They annoyed the pixie with a flick of her wrist. Wham! She sends all 3 of them flying. Lesson learned. Assel gives them a peace sign and a cheerful have fun before ditching them. She's the worst. I love her. The party gets teleported. Their first quest is simple. Kill everything that moves. Han is all business, asking Jenna if she's ready. The other 3 are still trying to figure out what just hit them. They've landed in a field and the welcome wagon is here. A pack of level 3 goblins and level 4 prairie wolves. As expected, the 3 newbies get hit with a fear debuff. Their stats drop by 30% as they scream like they're in a horror movie. And though, not a single flinch. He's locked in. Oh wait, a window pops up for Jenna too. She's terrified. Her stats are nerfed. So what does our hero do? He taps her on the shoulder, making her scream. Then he deadpans. Did you eat something bad? What a jerk. She yells at him, but he's already calling the shots. You take the goblins. I'll handle the wolves. Time to be a leader. And it worked. The system says she's not scared anymore. Han glances back at the 3 useless guys still crying in the corner. Useless. The wolves are charging and Han meets them hidden. No hositaschen. A wolf lunges, jaws wide open for a bite. Han lets out a battle cry and braces for impact. Bam! He smashes his shield right into its face. A perfect block, sending the wolf flying. But the wolf isn't down for the count. Han realizes his starter gear is as useful as a wet noodle. Still, he grips his crummy little sword. He's gotta make it work. His eyes start glowing, and with a massive swing, he takes it down. Still got one, he yells, "Let's go." With a savage roar, he buries his sword deep into the monster's neck. That's gotta be a critical hit. But before he can even catch his breath, another wolf lunges forward. It clamps its glowing jaws right onto his shield. No time for victory pose. He grunts, digging his heels in. This thing has some serious bite force. He's struggling to hold his ground against its raw power. He manages to shove it away, creating just enough space for a counterattack. Now's his chance. His eyes start glowing with that eerie blue light again. He swings his sword in a vicious arc, and boom, blood goes flying everywhere. With the wolves finally dealt with, he turns his attention back to the goblins. Time to finish the job. But hold on a minute. Where those goblins go? He's met by the sound of silence on the battlefield. Oh, the goblins are already dead. They've been turned into little green pin cushions by a storm of arrows. He spots Jenna breathing hard, but looking steady. He jokes that she turned the goblin into a hedgehog and asks how many arrows she used. What a flirt. He tells her to relax. It's already very, very dead. With a sigh of relief, she finally agrees. And right on cue, a system window pops up. Stage clear. Both Han and Jenna leveled up, but our boy Han snagged the MVP title. They even get some sweet loot for their trouble. Gold, iron, ore, and leather. Not a bad haul for a day's work. Suddenly, the whole party is surrounded by pillars of blue light. It's teleportation time, folks. They reappear in a fancy hall as a message congratulates them. They've officially completed the 2nd floor, but there's no time to celebrate. The system immediately announces they're being sent to the 3rd floor. The grind never stops. Jenna starts to panic, but Han is cool as a cucumber. He calmly explains that they're just moving up a level. Han already knows the rules of this twisted game. If you're the master, you're forced to clear floors back to back with no breaks. But even he's a little worried. He looks at his lazy party members. How are they supposed to clear another floor with those dead weights? Just then, a message appears that changes everything. The master has logged off. Well, that's convenient. Han lets out a massive sigh of relief. Phew, looks like they get a break after all. Is Cell. The fairy guide pops up out of nowhere complaining about how tiring that was. Han, just deadpans. We did all the work. Why are you tired? He quickly does the mental math. Time flows 3 times faster in here, which means the master won't be back for 3 whole days. They've got time to prep. He checks his stats. He's lost a point of intelligence, but gained 2 in strength. Seems like a fair trade. His overall efficiency is improving. Meanwhile, the other 3 recruits are completely losing it. They're demanding to know where they are and why they have to fight. Somebody missed the memo. Han actually gets it. They're just 1-star commoners never meant for this life. He listens as Jenna tells them to just focus on surviving for now. Now he understands why 1-stars are called disposables. High-ranking heroes, even 2 stars like Molmont, don't even hesitate. But the 1-stars, who are just regular people, always freak out when they're thrown in a battle. But the 3-stars are a whole different story. They fight immediately as if they were born for this. It's like they already know the script. Jenna interrupts his brooding, asking why he won't help the others. She thinks he should try to make them improper teammates. Unused scoffs. Why would I help those useless guys? Our boy is not winning any congeniality awards today, folks. His reasoning is simple and absolutely brutal because they'll die soon. Yikes. That's cold, even for him. He turns to the terrified recruits, and tells them they'll just have to wait and see what happens. Such a comforting leader. His internal monologue is even harsher. He thinks that at this rate, they won't even die fighting. They'll just disappear. He announces that only he and Jenna will be fighting next, so the others can just chill. But one of the men tries to ask a question. Han cuts him off before he can even start. Don't. It's annoying. He has zero time for questions from the peanut gallery. Furious, the man grabs Han's shirt and yells, "What? Oh, you done messed up now, buddy." Han's response is immediate. A swift punch straight to the jaw. Bam! Down he goes. He stands over the fallen man, pointing out that he just stood there doing nothing while they were bleeding for him. He's got a point. He turned back to Jenna and asks if she's happy now. She just gives him a sly little giggle. I think she enjoyed that a little too much. The next day, it's time for some serious training. Welcome to the grind, my friends. After they finish their basic exercises, it's time to get down to business. Weapon training starts now. Han practices with a wooden sword, while Jenna practices her archery. All that hard work pays off as his swordsmanship and shield skills both level up. And of course, the other three were a complete no-show. I'm not surprised in the slightest. They were probably wandering around the compound, looking for an exit that doesn't exist. Bless their hearts. To take his training to the next level, Han has Jenna fire arrows directly at him. This guy is certifiably insane. He desperately swings his sword and shield, trying his best to deflect the incoming barrage of arrows. But one gets through, piercing his leg. Oof, that's going to leave a mark. Or maybe not. Jenna looks horrified, but Han just tells her not to worry. He's got this, and proceeds to rip the arrow out of his thigh. This place isn't like the real world. He'll be fine soon. As his thigh heals up, he gets a ding that he unlocked the pain-tolerant skill. What a perk. With his eyes glowing blue, he tells her to keep going. He won't stop even if it hurts. This man is on another level of crazy. To him, the pain is just proof that he's still alive. Okay, that's a little bit poetic. I'll give him that. He yells again. A startled Jenna can only agree. Poor girl is probably terrified of him at this point. The brutal training continues. Jenna is begging him to stop, but Han just relentlessly demands more. Talk about intense. Finally, all that pain pays off. His sword and shield skills awaken and combine into a new, higher-level skill. Basic sword shield techniques. Nice. Just as they finish, a message appears. Welcome to pick me up. Oh, the master is back online. His cell appears in a flash, screaming at them to get to the square immediately. If they're late, they're all in big trouble. Jenna is ready for action, feeling pumped from all the training. Han notes she's adapting well, and she just says she's a driven person. You go, girl. The other three, however, immediately swarm Isel. They're whining about having to fight again and begging to be sent home. Read the room, guys. And that is the last straw. Our tiny fairy guide, Isel, completely snaps. The anger veins are popping people. She grabs one of the recruits and flings him through the air. What the heck do you want from me? An apology letter. I really don't think that's what he wants right now. As the man screams for help, a cell creates a massive pink explosion, yelling that they're all going to die. She really went from 0 to 100. After her little tantrum, she tells them to go back. The three recruits with comically swollen faces meekly obey. I would too. And just like that, they're thrown into a new mission. Annihilate all enemies. Here we go again. But Han is completely unfazed. His weapons are better. His skills are better. He tells Jenna to treat it just like their training session. With a battle cry of let's go, he charges head first into the enemy ranks. Get him, Han. He even smirks to himself, just as he thought the third floor was a total cakewalk. Our boy's getting cocky. Another easy stage clear. This time, Jenna gets the level up and the MVP title along with some hefty rewards. She earned it. Jenna feels pretty good about it, remarking that it was quite doable. Han, on the other hand, just found it boring. What a show-off. She points out that the others still refuse to fight. Han doesn't care. He's not about to share experience points with cowards anyway. A tip from the master pops up. It suggests he make the disobedient heroes run circles to increase their activity. The master is a troll. I love it. Han reads the message and realizes the master's meddling is far from over. This is going to get interesting. They're teleported again, but this time back to the first floor. Han figures the master isn't a total monster after all. A little farming trip, maybe. It's just the same weak monsters they fought before. These boars don't stand a chance now. Jenna makes short work of them, easily snagging another MVP award. She even flashes a cheerful peace sign. She's really getting into this. But just as they think they're done, a system prompt pops up. Floor 1. Will you attempt it again? The yes button is already highlighted. Oh no. Han grits his teeth. He knows the master won't give them a break if they let things end this easily. The grinding montage continues. Now they're dropped back to floor 3 again. It's a simple mission for them now. Han gets the MVP award. Jenna, panting, admits she's getting tired. She hopes the master won't send them back in again. Don't hold your breath, Jenna. Han leans on his great sword and says, who knows? Meanwhile, Jenna's fuming, wondering how long they have to babysit these useless recruits. This is it for today, Han tells her. Jenna doesn't believe him, pointing out the master has other plans. But Han thinks the master is too busy to waste time cultivating insects. Famous last words. Suddenly, the ground starts to rumble. A massive, circular stone building rises from the ground right in front of them. What now? A system message announces. Master synthesis has started. The giant doors, CK, open, revealing a glowing blue interior. This does not look good. The three useless recruits stare in shock. One of them asks, what's that? It's your worst nightmare, my friend. A new prompt appears, and its instructions are absolutely chilling. Drag and drop the heroes you want to sacrifice to be synthesized. And just in case there was any doubt, another message clarifies the horrifying reality. Heroes who are sacrificed will die. Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like. Han's eyes glow an intense blue. He coldly thinks to himself, those idiots don't know when they're given opportunities. He knows exactly what's going to happen next. And just when you thought this death game couldn't get worse, the doors to the synthesis chamber swing open. Yeah, that name sounds super friendly. But where everyone else sees a horror show, our boy Han sees an opportunity. A huge one. Apparently, this guy's built different. He knows the master is watching everything. Even the small fry drama happening off-screen isn't getting missed. The master can see who's pulling their weight and who's just dead weight. And he just added Han and Jenna to his favorites. Isel, our resident angry fairy, immediately starts pointing fingers. She screeches for Jenna and some guy named Elson to get inside. Yikes. Han tries to play the hero, telling Jenna it's going to be okay. She's not exactly looking convinced, my friend. Elson starts panicking, asking what's about to happen. And Han, with ice in his veins, just says, you'll probably be judged for what you've done. The guy protests his innocence, but Han isn't having any of it. He's like, that's just what you think. Il is loving this, by the way. He tells the coward to just get in there already. Everyone is sick of cleaning up after him since he refuses to even try fighting. With a heavy thud, the doors to the synthesis chamber slam shut. No turning back now. A system prompt pops up. Will you synthesize? I mean, it's not like they have a choice, right? Inside, Elson is completely losing it, pounding on the door and screaming to be let out. It's a bad scene. And just like that, poof, the guy is engulfed in blue light and gets turned into pure data. Talk about a force system update. Synthesis complete. Jenna gets a level up and a new skill. Eagle's eyes. She's just standing there like, what just happened? Han lays down the brutal truth. Useless people get sacrificed here. It'll be my turn next. He glances over at the last two newbies, probably wondering which one is getting nerfed next. They look absolutely terrified. The cell doesn't waste any time. Next up, Han and Toby. She screeches. The fun never stops. The other guy, Toby, is completely frozen in fear. He can barely get a word out. But Han, our resident psycho, just starts walking forward like he's heading to the grocery store. No fear at all. Suddenly, Toby starts laughing like a maniac. He actually thinks he's being sent home. Oh, you sweet summer child. His little celebration is cut short. One scream, a flash of light, and poof, he's been synthesized. Deleted forever from the server, my friend. And just like that, Han gets a level up. He even got a new skill. Composures. How fitting for our stone-cold protagonist. He strolls out of the chamber and casually tells the last remaining guy, you're lucky. The absolute nerve of this dude. He reminds Jenna that the master deletes useless players. Then he asks why she's so gloomy when she was just complaining about them. And that's when the reality of the situation smacks her right in the face. If she ever stops being useful, she's next. Han spells it out for her. As they climb higher, they'll either die to monsters or get sacrificed. Those are the only two options. Jenna realizes he knew this entire time. He gives her one final piece of advice. Listen to what your father said if you want to live. She gets it. To survive this nightmare, she needs to pick the right side and fast. The next day, it's time for some good old-fashioned training. Finally, a change of pace. Jenna completely surprises Han by giving him the deepest bow and declaring, I'll be in your care. He just asks if she ate something weird. She looks up, looking dead serious. She's calling in that favor. She's officially on Team Han, and she's not messing around. Even Han is impressed. Amazing, he says. He promises she won't die as long as she does what she's told. Klassikan. But wait, there's more. Another voice cries out, please let me in as well. It's Aaron, the last survivor of the newbie trio. He admits he's been a coward, but he swears he's ready to change. Han asks why they should trust him. Aaron immediately starts to kneel, begging for one last chance. Looks like he's finally serious. Han asks Aaron if he's fought monsters before. admitting he too came into this world completely blind and unprepared. Eren can't believe it. But you fight so well, he murmurs. Well, that's because Han's just determined to live, no matter what it takes. He hands Eren a spear, telling him it's one of the easiest weapons for a beginner to pick up. Do you know how melee, mid, and long-range weapons work? He asks. Jenna gets all excited, realizing they can form a classic RPG party. Sword, spear, and bow for a perfect combat formation. For 3 people who started with nothing, this is one of the most effective strategies they could have. It's time to grind, folks. With the theory lesson over, Han brandishes his weapon. What are you doing? Get ready to fight. Eren is totally stunned. Fight? I thought you were going to teach me. Poor guy has no idea. Han just lunges at him, screaming that he had to learn on his own, so Eren can too. This is what passes for teaching in this world, folks. He tells him to be grateful he's practicing with a real person. Han's only training partner was a scarecrow. Eren is getting completely overwhelmed by this insane assault. He can barely keep up. He panics and closes his eyes, trying to block blindly. Rookie mistake, my friend. A very big rookie mistake. Han easily dodges and plans a solid kick right in his gut. Bam! Down he goes. As Eren doubles over, Han scolds him. Is this all you can do? If I were a monster, you'd be dead already. Jenna thinks he might be going a little too hard, but Han is firm. He won't carry dead weight. Keep up or get left behind. He asks Eren if he has a family. The poor guy stammers that he has a younger sister waiting for him. And Han's reply, just soul-crushing. You're better off than me. I have no one. Oof. Right in the fields. Then he points his wooden sword at Eren's throat. He gives Eren a final word of advice, reminding him what will happen to his sister if he doesn't make it back alive. He says, it's easier to be synthesized than die to monsters. Don't start something if you can't finish it. Harsh, but true. And that's the wake-up call he needed. You can see the fire ignite in his eyes. He's finally ready to fight. Han sees the change and smirks. He successfully created another monster like himself. The look in your eyes is better now, he says. Just then, a system notification pops up. A blacksmith's forge has been built, costing 500 gems. Han realizes this is important. With free movement and a blacksmith, a new phase of the game is about to begin. He calls for Assel, who appears with her usual attitude. Who do you think you are ordering me around? Same old Assel. Han cuts right to the chase. He asks about the tips she sent the master last time and deduces she can access the internet. She proudly admits it, saying web surfing is her hobby. Han connects the dots instantly. The tips came from Strategy Guide. He knows the exact forum post she's copying. The one from the legendary player Loki. Isel is completely floored. You know Loki. And just like that, Isel turns into a total fangirl. She starts gushing about how Sir Loki is a god-tier master in this game. Hen just plays along asking why she's such a big fan. She says it's because Loki makes the impossible possible, a true legend. And she just keeps going on and on and on about her hero, Sir Loki. It's actually kind of adorable. After listening to her whole speech, Han just says flatly, I feel so sorry for you, Savage. That stops her right in her tracks. She whips around absolutely furious. What did you just say? With his eyes glowing like he's about to drop the sickest beat of the century. Han drops the ultimate bombshell. I am Loki. She is absolutely bugging out. She starts stammering, completely convinced that he has to be lying. But Han, cool as a cucumber, just starts rattling off an account number. You can see the exact moment the shock hits her. He smirks, telling her to check herself. He even offers up his Google account info as proof. What a total flex. She wastes zero time. She whips out a holographic keyboard and starts typing like her life depends on it, muttering, really? For real. After a moment of pure stunned silence, she just looks at him and says, do it. Han is completely lost. Then she just explodes into full-on fangirl mode, demanding his autograph so she can become a top member of the Ragnar Loki Club. Our boy Han is just standing there with a clipboard looking utterly baffled. Isel has to explain that it's Loki's official fan cafe. He just deadpans that he's never heard of it. And look, the color just drains from Isel's face as she realizes she's been sassing her ultimate idol. Han just shrugs it off. Me, I'm just a one-star right now, so who cares? But Sel is in full-blown panic mode now. She's asking what will happen to his account's home base, Niflheim. Han has no clue. So, it turns out Niflheim is the name of the massive personal lounge tied to his game account, his own little fortress. And when I say massive, I mean a 13th floor structure with room for 20,000 troops. This is pure in-game whale content, my friends. But what does all that virtual power matter now? He's thinking, so what? I master him here now? Our boy is starting to get it. Isel is still wailing about the 20,000 troops, but Han tells her to just send them off if she's that worried about them. Of course, she can't. He knows she's just a mid-level admin who gets bossed around. He calls her out on it immediately. Ouch. Han moves on to the important questions. He confirms the Master is a human from Earth, and that the summoned heroes are not AIS. They're actually humans summoned from many different worlds. She explains the Master is just a normal player, totally clueless that their heroes are real people facing actual permanent death. So Han asks the million-dollar question, can he go home if he clears the 100 stage? But his cell doesn't know. He tries again. Who brought me here? But once more she can't answer. Her programming forbids it. Han sighs, but he accepts it. Looks like he'll have to find the answers himself by climbing this whole death tower. He asks what she can actually do, and she admits she can only support the Master's choices. She has no real power of her own. He then learns that while other mass lounges are a bit different, the basic structure of the game is the same for everyone. And that's when the horrible truth sinks in. There are a million of these worlds, a million players, a million death games. The game's flashy selling points, like infinite heroes and endless content, were all just a terrifying lie. He's realizing that his careless in-game choices before, like synthesizing heroes, were actual death sentences for real people. The guilt is hitting hard. This strengthens his determination even further. He turns to a cell and makes an offer she can't refuse. If you want to climb the tower, just listen to me. I'll help you climb it. A little while later, over at the training grounds, Jenna is proving to be a total natural. She's moving way faster than a normal one-star hero. Eren, on the other hand, is just getting completely demolished. Not everyone is built for this, I guess. Jenna boasts that she was going easy on Eren. Han tells her not to get cocky and follow him. What's wrong? You're done teaching your number one servant? She teases. Suddenly, a tiny, furious voice screeches from off-screen. How dare you follow Han around? It's a Cell, of course. She flies right between them and declares that she is Han's number one servant. Oh boy. Before she can spill the beans about his secret identity, Han clamps a hand over her mouth and tells her to get back to work. He holds the struggling sharp-toothed fairy out to a very confused Jenna and just says, don't worry, she's an idiot. Putting the drama aside, Han orders Eel to open up the storage building. Time to get some loot. The door cracks open, revealing a nice little starter pack of basic crafting materials. Not bad for day one. Next up, the forge. Han is getting tired of his worn-down sword and wants to craft something better. Shihan's got a theory. He wonders if his unique status as half-master, half-hero will let him use facilities that are normally reserved for masters only. The forge roars to life, and he steps inside. It's time to get to work. Aizel immediately gets hyped, asking if he's going to make a legendary weapon. Han has to shut that down real quick. A system window pops up listing multiple penalties. The facility, his expertise, and the blueprints are all low tier. TLDR, his chances of getting a good weapon is horrible. Aizel is starting to catch on. Crafting? She asks. Yep, manual crafting. This triggers a mini-aim where he has to pick a puzzle difficulty. The harder the puzzle, the better the reward. And our boy Han doesn't even hesitate. He picks the hardest one, Extreme Hell. As Cell completely freaks out, yelling that it's a triple penalty. But Han is calm, telling her to just watch the Master at work. Han explains it's a special mini-aim for Masters. Most Masters don't do it, but the rewards are superb. He's got 3 minutes to assemble this chaotic mess of digital blocks. The timer starts now. No problem, Han says as the mini-aim begins. The confidence on this guy is off the charts. Aizel is absolutely stunned, screaming, this is a god's hand. The legendary Thousand Hand. She is losing her mind, and she's not wrong. His hands become a complete blur, expertly snapping the digital blocks together at impossible speeds. Boom! Huge success. He's crafted a well-forged long sword with a C- rank. Not bad for first try. Han holds up his newly forged glowing blue sword, looking pleased. Aizel is in the background cheering like he just won the championship. Alright, dude's on a roll, tackling even more puzzles. And boom. System windows spam his screen. A bow, a spear, and shield. All C rank, but hey, it's a start. He stops after just 3 items, blaming the low-quality materials, but Cell's like, dude, why are you stopping? Han plays it cool, explaining that making anything better would be too flashy. He's worried the Master might get suspicious. And just like that, poof, they're teleported to the next stage. Welcome to the jungle, folks. Before the monsters can even say hello, Jenna unleashes an arrow. It's a freaking laser beam that zips right through one of them. So, they made it to the 4th floor. Jenna's floored about how awesome her new bow is. She's worried other players might try to yank it. Nah, Ripidi-san. Not possible if it's an exclusive weapon made for you. He immediately starts barking orders for the fight. Jenna gets the harpy. Eren's on bodyguard duty for her, and Han will handle everything else. Eren nervously agrees. Good luck, buddy. The harpy screeches and dives right at them, leading the charge. Here we go. And Eren immediately loses his mind. He's just flailing his spear around like a wet noodle. Useless. A system message pops up confirming his stats have been nerfed by 30% due to fear. Han grimis. The rookie is totally agitated. Completely overwhelmed, Eren just screams and waves his sword around uselessly. Oh, but Jenna is having none of that. Wham! She slaps him hard on the face and screams at him to get it together. We'll die if we fail again, she yells. Are you okay with that? Damn girl. How hard are you going to slap someone to make their nose bleed? Her motivational speech actually works. A newly focused Eren promises to try his best as they face the horde together. With their tank finally tanking, the team actually works together, carving a path right through the monsters. Look at them go. Stage clear. Eren gets a level up, Han gets MVP, of course, and the party gets some sweet loot. The second the adrenaline fades, Eren just collapses, gagging from the sheer horror of it all. Can't say I blame him. He totally bombed the level. He asks Han what's going to happen to him now, but then a system notification pops up. Eren has been added to favorites. Well, look at that. Han tells him he's not only alive, but favored by the master. Eren can't even believe it. His face is priceless. I made it. He screams, totally losing it with relief and joy. He's so happy he survived. Jenna is all smug, calling him subordinate number 2. But Han immediately shoots that down. But that word subordinates makes him pause as he heads for the armory. What's he thinking about? He thinks to himself, if anyone was his number 1 subordinate, it would have been Nibelheimer Surus. A little bit of backstory for us. He remembers his old team, a full party of 5 6-star, level 99 heroes with custom skills he made himself. This guy was a whale. Since he was technically AFK from the game right now, his Vice Master and the Wise Urith were probably running things in Niflheimer right now. Man, those guys were so smart. He sometimes wondered if they were really AI. But now, trapped in this messed up world, he has a chilling realization. My friend, they weren't AIs at all. And bam, we cut to that very same headquarters. Cyrus and Urith are having a very serious chat. Sir tells Urith that she's leaving to investigate, putting her in charge of everything. Permission to find out what in the world happened to their master. Back at Han's current location, a storm of system messages floods the screen. The master is spending some serious cash to upgrade the home base. A restaurant gets built, the training center levels up, and the workshops get a massive upgrade. The master is on a shopping spree. And finally, the main square evolves to level 2, revealing a much fancier plaza. Talk about a glow up. Jenna and Eren are completely floored by the instant makeover. They're wondering if the master is some kind of god-tier mage, but Han just smirks. The master is just loaded. He's buying all these upgrades. He figures the master is having a blast playing the game. The players' reactions and one-of-a-kind battles are probably getting him all pumped up, not knowing they were all real. Han deduces from his login time that the master is some office worker who can afford to wail out on the game. Isel's thrilled, though. It's better than having a broke student. Look, he just splashed out on some combos worth 65,001. Hin knows this better than anyone. Pick Me Up is a classic pay-to-win game. A paying customer is always a good thing. And right on cue, a system alert. The master is starting a 10-pole summoning. Oh, this is going to be interesting. As the summoning portal roars to life, Han grins. It's about time we invite some guests for a housewarming. So, there are 2 ways to summon new heroes. Regular summons use gold, while advanced summons use premium gems. Of course, the gem summons are way better. It's a classic gotcha trick to get you to open your wallet. Han knows what's up. A crowd of 10 new people materializes on the steps, looking completely lost. Where am I? One asks. I was just at home. They start to panic, thinking it's all a nightmare. Han just watches them grimly, knowing how it felt himself. Han points his sword at a big bearded dude. He gets jumpy and demands to know who they are. Not going to explain things right now, he says. Survive first, and I'll explain to those who do. Isel takes over from there, yelling for everyone's attention. She starts calling out for anyone with a trade like carpenter. She rattles off a list. Blacksmith, tanner, cook. And when the terrified crowd demands answers, she just screams, shut up. Jenna has no idea what's happening, but Han gets it immediately. Isel is sorting them into jobs for the new facilities. He thinks to himself that if the poor souls who died earlier had been summoned now, they might have survived as non-combatants. This dude is just so sentimental. It's all clicking into place for him. The entire system of the waiting room is changing. It's evolving right along with them, just like Niflheim. With 10 new, terrified faces staring back at her, Isel wastes no time. She gets right to business, trying to sort out the fresh meat. Jenna has no idea what's going on, but our boy Han gets it instantly. They're assigning roles because the base is starting to look like a real town. While Isel barks out orders, Han thinks out loud that now even useless ones can handle non-combat jobs and not have to die needlessly. So sentimental, that one. Suddenly, a system message pops up. Oh, look, a patch update. The lounge system is changing, and it's time to start forming parties. Un continuous rambling. If you don't have stats, you better find a way to be useful, because useless people are just a waste of food. Han knows exactly what this is. It's a culling. The master is about to thin the herd by throwing these poor 1-stars into the dungeon. Survival of the fittest, baby. That portal glows with a terrifying light, like a digital M just waiting to swallow these poor, unprepared souls whole. And just like that, we get our first casualty report. A player named John is already dead. Well, that was fast. Jenna is horrified, but Han is completely unfazed. He says there is no need to explain anything to people who die on the lowest stage. Ice cold, my friend. And another one bites the dust. Teddy is dead, too. But our MC, ever the Optimus, points out that while 2 died, 2 also managed to survive. The survivors are a total mess, absolutely panicking about fighting monsters. One of them, Descartes, is screaming that he can't do it. Not a great start, buddy. Seeing their fear, Eren steps up like a true hero, shouting, "I'll fight with you." But Assel immediately shuts him down. "Not your fight, kid. Back off." Jenna seems surprised by Eren's guts. With a heavy sigh, Han tells Assel to let him join. He needs more combat experience anyway. So pragmatic. So Assel asks the master, and what do you know? He agrees. Han just calls out his name as he's leaving. A tip pops up. Apparently, heroes who actually want combat perform better in it. Go figure. Han warns Eren not to make a habit of this. Eren gets the message, and the newly formed party heads into the dungeon. The party is gone, and Jenna immediately starts stretching and complaining about the potato-only diet. Han just thinks she has absolutely no tact. He's not wrong. "Oh look," says Han, "the sky is so bright. It's like God is looking down upon this world," which is probably code for something because Jenna stiffens immediately. But Han just smirks. Don't worry, the God doesn't listen to every person's voice. In other words, nobody cares about your potato problems, Jenna. He explains that their feelings are just filtered and sent to the master as simple data points like an angry emoji for the terrible cooking. Okay, just in a message. Boom. Stage clear. The newbies emerge, grimy but alive. Han asks Eren for his kill count. 1, he says, looking proud. Han nods, satisfied. He understood the assignment. As they head back, Jenna can only think of one thing. Are we finally escaping potatoes? A girl can dream, right? They return to find the lounge has been upgraded to a proper dining hall. Look at that, a real-life loo drop. Jenna and Eren are ecstatic, already dreaming of fancy meals. Lamb steak, turkey? Nope. Turns out dinner tonight is still a giant bowl of potatoes. The writer is just trolling them at this point. The new cook, an older man named Dolph, is losing his mind. They have spices, but the only ingredient is potatoes. Han's eyes narrow. This guy claimed he was a cook, but this is all he can come up with. My man is not impressed. A quick stat check confirms it. Dolph is a complete novice with absolutely zero skills. He lied on his resume. Han sits back, crossing his arms. This guy doesn't even own a cooking skill. He surveys the room for anyone with even a remote chance of being a cook. He calls out Chloe, who looks up, completely startled. You'll do the cooking from now on. A battlefield promotion, if I've ever seen one. He confirms the change in the system, officially replacing Dolph. And just like that, Dolph is fired. Brutal. Chloe looks completely anxious. You can see the sweat dripping down her face. Poor girl did not sign up for this. Dolph starts to panic, but Han cuts him off. He gives him credit for trying, but tells him he shouldn't have lied about something so easy to check. Rookie mistake. This is the last time I'll overlook this, Han says, his voice low and threatening. Dolph shrinks back in fear. Our boy can be terrifying. Later, the table is filled with a literal feast of potato dishes. We've got roasted potatoes, fries, and potato stew. A potato paradise. Jenna is amazed at how many different tastes one vegetable can have. Chloe smiles, explaining it was all thanks to the condiments. Just then, Han gets everyone's attention. Eat while you listen. I won't say it twice. Okay, tough guy. He tells them to pass his words on to the next batch of newbies. You know, if they want to live. Later that night, the recruits debrief. One of them, Eno, asks if it's true. Han is a total beginner, just like them. Enoch then asks what he and Chloe are supposed to do. Han clarifies their roles. They're the carpenter and the cook, and they can support the team in other ways. Dolph tries to claim he can be a carpenter, too. Shut up already, Dolph. Han threatens to sacrifice him to the synthesis chamber if he ever lies again. Han lays it out for everyone. Non-combat jobs are safer, but spots are limited. If someone better comes along, the weakest link gets thrown to the wolves. From his second day on, life in the sanctuary really begins to change. The base is leveling up. Han stands in the new training grounds looking totally unimpressed. Only 3, he asks. He's a tough man to please. Only 3 of the new guys show up for training. Han figures it's better than nothing. He was getting bored of sparring with Eren anyway. The training is absolutely brutal. Han notes the huge stat difference between them, realizing this kind of insane growth is only possible in this world. Jenna has also been grinding, reaching level 5 with a level 2 dagger skill. You go, girl. Eren is the most dedicated of all, but despite all his hard work, he still hasn't unlocked a useful skill. Poor guy has the worst luck. The 3 new trainees, however, have all managed to learn level 1 swordsmanship. Sometimes that's just how the game works, folks. They're in awe of Han's strength, and he tells them it's just because he's a higher level. They don't get it. You'll see soon, Han replies mysteriously. A few days later, another free 10-pole happens. This time, Han doesn't have to lift a finger. Eren and his new trainee handle the orientation themselves. The culling process is much more efficient now, with only 1 death this time. Jenna notes that more people just keep coming, and Han confirms it's never going to stop. Jenna grows concerned. Why isn't the master going to the 5th stage? She asks. It has been a while to be fair, but Han knows why. The 5th stage is a whole different beast, and the master is still grinding to prepare his main party. Every 5 stages, the difficulty spikes dramatically. It's basically a boss stage, and you can't go in unprepared. The grim reality is even with all their training, a lot of them are still going to die. But the others don't need to know that. So Han just keeps it to himself. Alright, bam. The party gets zapped to floor 4. The mission is pretty straightforward. Just annihilate everything that moves. Han tries to calm down the new meat shields. He's like, don't worry, guys. We got this. He explains their super important job. Just stand there and be a wall. You don't even have to attack. Sounds like a great gig, right? And despite that amazing pep talk, the moment the fight starts, the new guys just start screaming their heads off. So much for bravery. Han's voice booms from behind like a sage master. The weak have their own way of fighting. Instead of individual power, combine all your strength, and would you look at that? They're actually holding the line. Eren sees his chance, and boom. He lunges past the shield wall with his spear and just skewers a monster. Man, that's gotta be messy. Meanwhile, our boy Han is just chilling on the sidelines. It's not because he's lazy. Nope. His team needs the practice. Finally, it's stage clear. The new guys get enhanced and even level up. But of course, Jenna gets MVP, girl power, and here comes the loot. Not bad for a day's work for everyone else. The newbies give each other high fives. Han knows floor 5 is a mission he can't solo. He's gotta level these kids up pronto. Back at base, the new guys are flying high. How was it? A piece of cake. Oh, you sweet summer children. Even Jenna is impressed, giving a rare smile, and Han just quietly agrees, probably taking all the credit in his head. So, while the master was away, the team was busy grinding. They got a blacksmith and a tanner and started an entire production line. They're just cranking out basic year-rank gear, but hey, it's better than nothing. It's a huge survivability boost for the new recruits. The main party, Han, Jenna, and Eren were given all the top-tier loot. But not everyone got a happy ending. 3 inactive heroes got synthesized for being useless. Yes, including Dolph, the dude who lied about being a cook. Yeah, he's now just a resource. A lesson to all you liars out there. A few days of grinding later, and the recruits are getting cocky. One of them is already whining. 4th floor again. I want to go to the next floor. Han turns to Cell and asks the big question. We'll head to the 5th floor today, right? Cell says yes, and Jenna looks completely shocked. Han gives the recruits a classic dad warning. This time it's going to be different. Don't get too comfortable, kids. And they're like, we got it. And with a flash of light, poof, they're gone. Off to the next adventure. They land in a totally new spot. We're talking a creepy ruined city with a giant busted tower. This does not look friendly. The team appears in a glowing blue circle right in the middle of a trash street. The welcome wagon seems to be missing. Eren's looking around like, where are the monsters? But Han immediately takes charge. All right, everyone. City center. Let's go. But Han notices something else. No monsters and no people. His spidey senses are tingling. He realizes this isn't a subjugation mission. And just then, one of the recruits lets out a blood-curdling scream, pointing at a wall. What did he see? Oh, that's what he saw. A skeleton tied up and left to rot. Well, that's not a good sign. The whole team is rattled. Jenna points out the old bloodstains, and Han confirms what they're all thinking. This is a whole new level of messed up. Han, ever the strategist, tells Jenna to climb the clock tower and be their eyes in the sky. Classic move. Han yells up, what do you see? And at first, she says, it's just the city. But you can hear the hesitation in her voice. Then her face just twists in horror. She says, I really hope I'm seeing this wrong. But down on the ground, Eren is losing his cool. What is it, Miss Jenna? Spit it out. You can see the sweat rolling down her face as she tries to process the sheer terror of what's in front of her. Ryder, you are killing me with this suspense. Finally, she screams her report. There are a ton of goblins outside the city, and they're coming this way. Han demands to know how many. Her voice just cracks as she says the number. Thousands, and pop, the system window confirms it. Floor 5 survival. The enemy 1,846, level unknown goblins. Oh, this is bad. Eren is freaking out, but Jenna confirms the number is real. Han, staying surprisingly calm, just tells her to get down. Han goes into leader mode. Listen up. It's not subjugation, it's survival. We just have to stay alive for a certain amount of time. That's easy for him to say. A recruit asks if they can just hide. Good idea, but nope. Han tries a door and gets hit with a big red access, denied a barrier. The game says you have to fight. Eren asks how long they have to survive. Han gives a grim answer, but it's a lie. He says 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes after they get here. But we, the audience, know the truth. Our boy Han is thinking to himself, our luck is terrible. He's lying to them. And then the timer pops up. It's not 10 minutes. It's a full 30 minutes. 30, he lied by 20 whole minutes. As they run for cover, Han remembers a fun little fact from his past life. The survival rate for this kind of mission is only 9%. He also knows from experience that getting on buildings will only trap them. He yells at everyone to head for an alley. One of the recruits asks if they can find a better spot, but Han just shuts him down. There's no time to be picky. They find their battleground, a narrow intersection, a classic choke point. Good thinking, Han. He lays out the plan. The narrow path means they only have to fight one goblin at a time. It's their only chance against thousands. He sets up the formation. He and Eren guard an alley each. The recruits guard the third alley. He tells them to fight in shifts to conserve stamina. And Jenna, she's on standby in the middle. Her job is to save her arrows and only shoot when Han gives the signal. She's the secret weapon. Time is running out, so they're frantically building a barricade. Han helpfully points out if even one goblin gets through, they're all dead. Han's looking at that 30-minute timer and has a horrible realization. This isn't game time. This is real time. 30 agonizingly real minutes. And right on cue,